Hi guys, so today's video is a contest entry for the NYX Face Awards. I'm going to be doing this glitter stitch look and I'm going to start with a red eyeshadow and I'm going to take this into my crease. In fact, I'm going to make my crease a little bit higher and just blend it up towards the brow bone. This doesn't even have to be that neat at the moment because I'm going to go in with some concealer, but I'm taking that into the inner corner. And then I'm going to use some white and I'm going to use this under my brow bone. This side ended up slightly higher than the other side, but it's all fine. And I'm going to use some concealer now, and I'm going to carve out that crease. And I want it really sharp and perfect lines, so go slowly and just keep working with it. There's no rush here. I'm bringing it all the way in and then setting it with my face powder. Then I'm also going to go back into that red and intensify any of that colour because we have lost a little bit of that with the white. I'm now going to use my Scandalised pencil, and these are really good because they set kind of like a paint pot sets and they don't budge, but it is quite dry and quite difficult to put onto the eye in a precise way, so I've put a bit on my hand, and with the heat from my hand it's melted a little bit and it's easier, and I'm carving out this shape and then using my concealer to fix that negative space in the centre. Okay, so I'm going to pat over with some blue eyeshadow and a bit darker of blue in the outer corner, as you can see here. Now I'm going to use my Eve Pearl liner, and I love this liner so much. I'm going to add a nice wing to my eyes. This liner is great, it really is. Now I put the wing on before I put the glitter on because the glitter's chunky and it makes the liner go on really bleh. It doesn't want to cover properly or go on smoothly. So now I'm going to use my Lit Glitter in Magic Dragon with the Lit Clearly liquid glitter base, and I mixed that up in a little container and applied it to my eyes, all over that blue area, and I'm making sure I go right up to the edge of that line because I don't want a line of blue and the glitter not going right up to the edge. And then I'm going to fix any shapes and any lines with that concealer. Next I'm going to go into my red and I'm going to go right above that negative space. I'm just going to call it negative space, and I'm going to just intensify again that red. Now I'm going to tight line with some black gel eyeliner and take it right into the inner corner. Next is some false eyelashes. Obsessed with false eyelashes. And then I'm going to add some of this highlighter by Makeup Revolution right underneath my brow bone. Then I'm going to take away anything from the lower waterline because, yeah, you get transfer from that gel liner, and I want a nice nude line. And it was a concealer, it was the It Stick from Benefit, and I'm also going to take all of my concealer and make a little wing underneath my black wing. Then I'm going to blend it down so it's easier to blend my red shadow into. I'm going to now set that with my face powder. I'm also going to go in my red and I'm going to start to carve out a little line under there too. So it's kind of like at the top but underneath, and going to go right under that wing and right into the inner corner. Create this kind of curve in the inner corner. I'm now going to use Muse for my Venus palette, which is a darker burgundy colour, and this is just going to go right along the edge of that line, right against the concealer, and then I'm going to fix under the eyes with some of my regular concealer and brighten, and it's also going to help me fix the shape if I've gone a little bit too low, all that kind of jazz. I'm going to go into my red now and just intensify any of the areas I feel I want a little bit more definition and more colour, just like this. Just look a lot better, as you can see. Now I'm going to go again with that highlight colour just to make sure I haven't lost any of that. And then I'm going to take one of these, I forget what these are called, like metallic shadows from Steeler. I'm going to take that in the inner corner and then set it with NYX Luxor eyeshadow, which is just beautiful. And this is going to be my kind of accent colour. As you see, the highlighter kind of fits with that too, with it being that lilac colour. It's gorgeous. I'm going to set my under eyes with my powder, and now I'm going to take my contour shade and contour my cheekbones and my forehead, etc. Bit down the nose. Can't miss that. And the tip too. And then I'm going to add some of my concealer right under there, and you can see it just sharpens that line right up, and then you can just dab to make sure it's not quite as sharp and doesn't look as fake. And now I'm going to use some white liner from Illamasqua to plot out my stitch lines. I like to do this first because then I can see exactly where I want it to go, and if I get it wrong, like I do in a second, I can just brush it away and blend it away and change the line. And there's no harm done. Now I'm going to go in with that Scandalised colour, again from Rimmel, and start to draw out my stitch lines. And these are kind of like really thin eye shapes. Kind of like almond shaped, but dead thin. So they're kind of pinched in each of the outer edges. Like they're kind of bursting open a little bit. Well, they are. Now I'm going to use my white liner again, and I'm going to line around the edge of all of these shapes. As you can see. This bit looks cool sped up. You'll see in a sec. But this is going to act as the highlight on the edges of the skin, so it looks like it's raised and like it's open. It's all about the shading with this, and it is very time consuming, but it's also very effective. Now I'm going to go with that red again, and I'm going to go around the edges of that, and this is what's going to make it look irritated and sore and bruised and pissed off, basically. But again, adds to the effect so much, and also sharpens that white line if it's gone a little bit fuzzy. Looks awesome. And already you can kind of see it coming together. You can see it's more of an intensified red right against that white, and then it kind of feathers out a little bit, but I'm also going to blend that in a second with my contour colour. And you can see this is just going to make it look a little bit more natural, like it blends into the skin more. It also looks more bruised, more irritated, less kind of defined. I'm then going to go into a darkish browny burgundy colour and just go along some of the inner parts of each of the shapes, if that makes sense. Gonna go, yeah, you can see here, just do what I do. I'm not going along the whole shape, just kind of the pinched ends of it. Then I'm going to use my glitter, and I'm going to take this on a nice angled brush. Not angled in the sense that it's like a brow brush, but you can see the end is kind of bent, and it makes it a lot easier to put this on. A lot easier. This one's from Elf. And just filling in all of those seams that have burst open. Then I'm going to draw in my stitches. I'm using my Eve Pearl liner. I'm adding a little dot and then adding my stitches, and I like to slightly curve them so they look a little bit more 3D. You can also add 1, 2 stitches, cross them over, make them look different variations, so they don't all look exactly the same. So I've done some crossed and then just 2 next to each other at some points. It's cool. And then I'm going to go in with that red and a pencil brush and just dot over each of those little holes, because again makes them look more irritated and much more realistic. They would be really sore if you'd just been sewn up. Then I'm going to add some black, and I'm going to put that directly onto the black holes, just so they have more depth, they look deeper and like they are actually there, not just drawn on. Now I'm going to take a little dot of white to the base of all those little holes so they look like they are highlighted and raised above the skin because they're swollen. Now I'm going to highlight my cheekbones with that same colour I use on the eyes, a little bit on my nose too, and my Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to use a pink lipstick. This one's from Mellow Cosmetics in the colour London, and it goes really nicely with this look. Even though I use red, with it being faded out towards the edges, it looks more pink. And then I'm going to go in with that Luxor eyeshadow that's in my inner corners and just pat that over the top of my lipstick. I love it so much. And that's the final look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please check out my Instagram 15-second tutorial, which was really hard to edit down. And please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.